just got banned from a high school. I know, you're like, more context, please. Let me explain. I know when someone gets banned from a high school, it's usually for like showing up body parts. Not what I did, okay? I was just telling jokes. I was showing my body of work. Okay. So I got booked to perform at a high school because my career is on fire, okay? And, high school one day, Calgary the next, I'm doing things, So I got booked to perform at a high school, and before you judge, okay, this gig had dignity to it, okay? It was a nighttime event. It wasn't a daytime thing for the whole school, okay? It wasn't an assembly. I'm not a clown. It was a nighttime event. It was for the Muslim Student Association. They booked me to, or did you guys boo or did you go, woo? I wasn't sure. We are in Calgary. I got booked to perform for the MSA, and these were really nice kids who booked me, and I don't want to throw them under the bus, but I'm going to just because they told me I could talk about whatever I wanted. Don't say that to a comedian unless you mean it, especially at a high school, because my thought was, okay, it's nighttime, the bell has rung, so we can get a little loose in this high school cafeteria, Halal, of course, So I really just did my normal set. I started by making fun of the city a little bit. That's what I do. Don't take it personally, okay? This was in a city called Mountain View, okay? And they don't have a view. So that was my first joke. I was just like, where's the view? It killed. And then I roasted the whole front row, because the whole front row was valedictorians. Isn't that messed up? They put the valedictorians in the front and the lessers in the back. Yeah, very classist. Yeah. So I just roasted him. I was like, nerd. You're the next Luigi. Nerd. I was connecting, So they were warmed up. I was like, I'm gonna do some riskier jokes, I did an impression. You guys like impressions? Okay. Here's my impression of a gay suicide bomber. Well, I thought you guys said you liked impressions. Why'd you all of a sudden pull back? Well, that's not the impression I was expecting. Well, here's my impression of a gay suicide bomber. Should I wear the jacket or the vest? Ironically, that joke never bombs. So yeah, they were warmed up at that point, So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do some political jokes for these 14-year-olds. And then so what? I did 2 jokes about Israel. Didn't know you couldn't do that at a high school. Okay? Yeah, just 2 jokes about Israel. Just 2 jokes. They were both 10 minutes long, but just 2 jokes. 80% of my set only. And the next day, an email went out to the entire school. It went out to the kids, it went out to their parents, it went out to their parents' parents, it went out to dead relatives in these kids' family, and it was directly from the principal, and it basically said, we would like to apologize for the random guy who was at our campus last night. We don't know how he got there, but he does not represent our values or our views, even though we don't have views in Mountain View. I made the last part up, but and then he went on to say, he said, this comedian's jokes, and he put jokes in quotations, so hurtful. He said, this comedian's jokes were both derogatory and anti-Semitic. Now, in his defense, he definitely had one of those right. They were definitely derogatory, okay? They were not nice. But anti-Semitic, get the f*** out of here, dude. Get the f*** out of here, man. Get the f*** out of here. No. I was not saying anything about religion or an entire group of people. No, I was criticizing a government that's committing genocide. That's not anti-Semitic, you idiot. You're out of high school, read the books that you have, and you'll see that genocide is bad. Also, I am Semitic. Shut up. Shut up. When are people going to learn that Arabs are Semitic? Okay, Semitic means people who speak Semitic languages, of which Arabic is one. The term Semitic was coined in Germany. You already see where the problem started. Germans love to classify people, and so they created a term Semitic in the 1700s, and within a few years, they already needed a term anti-Semitic to describe the people who were hating on us so mad. Right? So they created a term anti-Semitic to reflect hatred towards all Semitic people, but then that term got popularized by the Nazis, not sure if you heard of them, okay, who self-identified as anti-Semitic because it made their hate sound more professional. Because people were like, you're anti-Semitic. They're like, yeah, that's me. Like, no, that's not, you don't want that. They're like, no, it's very nice, yes. And so that term spread, and the Nazis popularized it with only the interpretation of hatred towards the Jews. So they completely left Arabs out of the definition. As if you needed another reason to hate the Nazis, they completely erased Arabs from the definition of anti-Semitism. And frankly, we just wanted to be a part. You know? And I know this is all Semitic semantics. Okay? But I'm just saying, if you can use the term Semitic and the term anti-Semitic means something different, like that's a mind for all the people involved. You know what I mean? I was talking to this with my Jewish friend. He's like, so are you saying you don't want us to use the term anti-Semitic? I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying use it, just include us. You know what I mean? Like, we just want to be a part. We're getting FOMO over here, man. Just, include us. Like, let us be in, In fact, anti-Semitism is just like Palestine. You're welcome to use it. Just don't kick us out. Pretend like it was never ours. You know what I mean? Like, that's literally all we're asking. Also, I know what anti-Semitism is. I'm on Twitter. If our government actually gave a shit about real anti-Semitism, they'd get off of college campuses and just log on to X, which is the source of modern-day anti-Semitism. You can talk directly to the commissioner. His name is Grok. And if that's not enough, follow Elmo's account. It's there. It's there. And as a Semitic person watching anti-Semitism, it's not about me, feeling left out. At some point, you do realize that all of the anti-Semitic stereotypes and tropes, you guys know because you're in Alberta, all the anti-Semitic stereotypes and tropes really can be said about Arab people. We just don't get credit like that. And I think that's messed up. And I know I'm the only one who's going to die on this hill. Okay? But I'm willing to say it. I'm willing to say it. Okay, guys, safe space. Let's be honest. Okay? Those stereotypes are about us too. Okay? Yes, let's be honest. What is the most common anti-Semitic stereotype and trope? Don't say it out loud. What is the most common anti-Semitic stereotype and trope? It's that, I said don't say it out loud. Someone get your auntie over here. Wow, jeez. No, it's that Jews are good with money and business. Habibi, are you kidding me right now? Are you serious? We are so good at business. After every halal cart cleaning up in New York City, that's how Zoran's going to win. We are good at business, okay? There's hummus in every grocery store. We are good at business, Habibi. Arabs are good at business. Arabs and Jews are both good at business. If Arabs and Jews start a business together, we could take over the... Okay, listen. We are good at business, okay? Every sane person knows that stereotypes are just stereotypes, okay? We know that it's racist people who push these things like, oh, the Jews control the weather. There's no evidence of that, okay? However, in Saudi Arabia, they are seeding rain clouds right now. Why are we not getting credit for controlling the actual weather? We are literally making it rain in the desert right now. Right over the Riyadh Comedy Festival. I wasn't invited. The one that hurts the most, the stereotype that hurts the most, is the one about big noses, okay? Like, how do we get left out of that? How the fuck do we get left out of that? Arabs have huge noses. If you knows, you knows. Some of you people don't want to laugh at this. I can tell. You're like, this is too on the nose for me. What I'm saying is, I know what anti-Semitism is and I know what it's not. And I was not doing anti-Semitism at that high school that night. I was simply telling genocide jokes for kids. So somebody has to. Somebody has to. And the principal called me anti-Semitic, and then they published it in the local newspaper, the Mountain View Bee or whatever. They all called me anti-Semite, and the messed up part, the principal wasn't even at the show. Yeah, because somebody asked him, like, what were the jokes that the comedian told that were anti-Semitic? He's like, oh, I wasn't even there, I don't even know. Oh, wow, great evidence, Cash. So I was like, I was just anti-Semitic just for showing up, So I had to look into it. Sometimes you gotta be your own private detective, okay? And I found out that the kids, they posted my face on a flyer. I asked them not to, but they posted my face all around the city of Mountain View, the city of no views, okay? So a bunch of viewless people saw the flyer, and then I think somebody saw it and they're like, oh, let's go to that show to stir some things up, because people do come to my shows sometimes to do that, to stir things up, and you've probably seen videos of it. And this was just like a very mild case of it. Somebody came to my show and told on me to the principal. Like, that's basically, yeah. Ain't that a bitch? I got snitched on at a school I didn't even go to. So basically, I was targeted. Okay? It was not anti-Semitism, it was anti-Sammy-tism. Yeah, which is a very specific kind of anti-Semitism. It's a subset of anti-Semitism. I got nothing to lose. I have the whole set recorded on my phone still. I'm going to edit at my mom's house later. Do you guys want to hear the jokes? Yeah? You want to hear the jokes? All right. So here's the first joke. Israel loves to claim that it's the only democracy in the Middle East, which is kind of offensive to other Middle Eastern countries that can vote, like Turkey or Lebanon or Syria sometimes, But Israel loves to champion itself as being the home of women's rights in the Middle East, right? Yeah. And I love women's rights. I know my face looks like I love Sharia law, okay? But I love women's rights more than I love Sharia law, okay? Yeah, I'm progressive like that, okay? I looked it up, I Googled it, and the first thing that I noticed was that abortion is not a right in Israel, okay? Now, nor is it in Texas or Florida or Alabama or Kentucky, okay? But none of these places are claiming to be the home of women's rights in the United States, because we know who we are, Alberta, too, you guys, it's kind of on the, okay? You guys, seems like you guys don't know. Get one while you can. And listen, I know that for some people, especially in Alberta, okay, abortion might be a controversial issue, but I'm just saying, if you claim to be the place of women's rights, just have the fucking rights, man, okay? But the truth is, if you're a woman in Israel and you want to get an abortion, you have to first get approval from the high court, not the low court, but the high court, okay? And this can take weeks and often months. Now, I don't know how much you know about abortion, but it's kind of a time-sensitive issue. And so clearly, this is by design. They do this to discourage women from getting abortion, and I think that's f***ed up. If you're a woman in Israel and you want to get an abortion, sometimes you just can't. Sometimes it's just quicker and easier to join the IDF if you want to kill a baby. Okay. Yes, I said that joke at a high school, okay? I felt it was the right thing to do. Okay? I used to be a teacher before I was fired. I have a connection with academia. Okay? And the kids loved it, by the way. They stood up, they clapped, they cheered. They laughed a little too hard, to be honest. I didn't appreciate how hard they laughed. I was not comfortable with that. But it crushed, man. It was an auditorium of like 500 kids. It crushed. I was the IDF that day. Okay. You get it. The UN gets it, finally. Bernie Sanders gets it, finally. Okay. That was just the first joke, okay? That was the milder one. The next joke is a bit more controversial, but I would say more relatable, okay? The next joke is about a world leader. Now, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to get sued for defamation. So let's just say this guy uses Gmail because he's not on Yahoo. Okay. It's Benjamin Netanyahu, guys. I just want to make sure you... Okay, just want to make sure. There was people looking like, who uses Yahoo Mail in 2025? It's Benjamin Netanyahu, guys. I won't get in trouble for saying his name anyways. It's not his real name, so... It's Milikowski. So, Benjamin Milikowski, a.k.a. Netanyahu. I start this joke by asking the crowd, are there any fans of Netanyahu here? Okay, that's the typical response. Usually more boos, but it's too late. It's too late. You guys showed your true colors, Alberta. Got my eye on you here. Now I get why the boo. I heard the boo earlier at MSA. But yeah, I asked this joke everywhere, and nobody says yes. This guy doesn't have fans. It's kind of sad. And I don't just perform for pro-Palestine crowds. I perform for everybody. I do Zionist crowds. I've been to Florida. I've been everywhere. And not one fan of the Netanyahu. I think we're at the point where we can all agree most of the world knows that Benjamin Netanyahu is an evil man. Okay? I think we're at the point where most of the world will agree that Benjamin Netanyahu should not be in power. Okay? Okay? Even his own people feel this way. People in Israel have been trying to vote him out. They've been having corruption trials to get him out. There's political parties shifting around to get him out. There's coups to try to get him out. There's assassination attempts to get him out. But you can't get rid of this guy. He's just there. And sometimes, in situations like these, when you can't remove someone democratically, not saying what you know that's like, Canada, okay? But sometimes, when you can't remove someone democratically, sometimes the higher power, or whatever you believe in, perhaps karma, might have an alternate plan, okay? Now, don't get mad at me for just relaying the news, but if you weren't entirely aware, Benjamin Netanyahu has cancer. I'm not asking you to get excited. I'm not asking you to get excited, okay? But I'm also not asking you to get sad. I'm asking you to remain completely neutral to this piece of factual information that Netanyahu has prostate cancer. Okay, which is, you guys keep wanting to get excited. Yeah, prostate cancer, which is kind of inherently funny in a way, but now, so does Joe Biden. Joe Biden has it too, but we'll do a joke about that at another time, okay? I already wrote a joke about Joe Biden having prostate cancer, but he forgot it. But you gotta admit, kind of ironic, the two main people associated with the genocide now have prostate cancer. Turns out what goes around comes around up your ass, okay? Come on, up your ass. And around the corner, you know? It's where the prostate is. But yeah. Now some sources will say it's just a benign tumor of the prostate. Okay? But we all know that cancer is cancer. Cancer can grow at any time. It multiplies. Cancer essentially is the ultimate colonizer. You know? It grows, builds checkpoints so the cells can't cross. You know, and eventually its goal is to turn your body into greater cancer. You know? Okay. This is not a political joke. Not a political joke. It's just medical science. Don't get mad at me unless you're a doctor. Okay? And I just find this very ironic. I find this so ironic. I find it perfectly ironic that Benjamin Netanyahu has prostate cancer. Because if you're familiar with Netanyahu, you would know that he is the one person in history who's had the most opportunities to free Palestine. He is literally the one unique person in that specific position of power for the longest amount of time who's been presented with time after time after time the most opportunities to facilitate the creation of a Palestinian state. But at every opportunity he had, he shut it down. Because in his mind, he never wanted there to be a Palestinian state. And he used to not say it, but he finally says it now. We've known it all along, because every time he had the option, he pushed it away, he made it difficult. He tried to make it damn near impossible for there to ever be a Palestinian state. So can we not at least just observe the irony here? That because this man was not pro-state, that he now has cancer in his prostate. You can't make these things up. You can't make these things up. And they removed his prostate. He's a no-stater now. He's a no-stater now. He's a no-stater. He got a no-state solution inside him. Okay, that was just the first part of the joke. That was the less controversial part. The next part is more controversial because I'm going to say something that's going to piss a lot of people off. But I'm going to say it because I mean it, and that is that I want to be a better person. Thank you for laughing at that, but I do. I want to be a better person, and no matter how much I hate someone or despise them for their actions, I don't want to be the one to wish sickness or death upon them. That's not who I am, and that's not who I want to be. These are my values. These are my values. I did not learn them in America. So in tune with my own personal growth, not cancer, but my spiritual growth, I'm going to say something that's going to be very hard for you to hear, just as it's hard for me to say. But I have to say it as a part of my 12-step program. And that is that I want Netanyahu to get well. I said it. Not Joe Biden, I'll give you that. But Netanyahu, yes, I said it. I said it because I don't want to sink to his level. Just because he's evil, I don't want it to make me evil. Now, I understand I'm going to lose fans over this. People are going to be so upset once this information goes public, but I'm letting you guys know because you're good people and you deserve to know the truth. And Netanyahu right now, they removed his prostate. They say he's in a stable condition, but we all know that cancer can come back. It's the ultimate colonizer. Tends to violate agreements, etc., etc. And so I'm just letting you know that if that cancer does come back, I'm going to be the first person to lead by example, stand up and say, we need to stop it. Yep, yeah. And I don't care if we have to go inside him. Then we will go deep inside him. Just get in there and just bomb the cancer. Just bomb the cancer to oblivion. Carpet bomb the cancer. Go inside of his colon, in the tunnels of his colon. Bomb the cancer. Oh no, Hamas! Bomb the cancer. From the prostate to the pee, he will be cancer-free. You understand me? Gotta go deep in there. Get that colonizer, you know what I'm saying? Now, of course, after this very intense operation, this intense military surgical operation, his colon will look like a demolition site. And at that point, Trump can occupy it. So. Yes, I said that in a high school. Who cares, man? The kids gotta learn. You're like, but Sammy, this was at a Ramadan iftar event. Okay. My bad. I can make better decisions. That's between me and Allah, okay? It's not between me and you. It's not your jurisdiction. But what I'm saying is, I don't do high schools anymore. But if you need someone for pre-K through 6, I got you, dude. I got you. I love you, Calgary. I hope to see you next year. Thank you so much.